What is going on, everyone? KMDolph back for the next installment of Transport Fever 2. Now, admittedly I've been at it again. I wasn't happy after last episode and did some more stuff off camera in that way that I do. As I sit here, I'm just going to quickly get rid of the old dollary-do signs because we don't like them too much. Yeah, I've done a little bit off camera, as you can see, illustrated by my mouse cursor, which has now made its return to in gaming. There's been a while there where I didn't have a mouse cursor on the screen, and it was very hard for me to pinpoint anything to show you guys. But yes, what I've done is we're down here outside of Keighley, where the construction materials plant is, and I've built a new little new butte station right there. The reason I've done that is because, you know what? It's better if I just explain it to you so I don't go into a 2.5 minute long monologue. I'm going to tell you guys right after the intro.
It's all the same when you're out of your mind, changing colors to hide from the blistering lights. They still burn in my...
Okay, and we're back from the intro. It's not well timed by my stretch, but here comes a train. Then I've updated him as well. As he comes in, the reason I've done what I've done is because I let the game run for a little bit after the confusion of last episode, and I wasn't overly happy as he drops off his... No, I want the train, not the flumen. Yeah, so he carries 60 stone now. So he's going to drop all that off there, and then he's going to go on his merry little way. In that way that he does. Although I'm a little bit annoyed that he doesn't toot his whistle. But nevertheless, we can't have everything in this life. Yeah, so what I've essentially done is, as I said, I had the intent of getting 2 lots of stone coming into the one freight station to make the construction materials, to then take to all 3 of the places, Keighley, Woburn, and Tadley, because they all want construction materials. But I realised that after letting the game run, this little train, while he would bring construction materials back for me and drop them off in Keighley, he wasn't able to pick up any stone from this quarry, so it was kind of a null point of having that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy that I made the train track that I did, but having him... He can't pick up stone from down there and take it into Tadley. So I figured, well, let's have 2 construction materials running for 3 towns. That to me makes a little bit more sense. The end goal is obviously to get more money up so I can use more of those little tank engine trains and what have you, and that'll all be good once it's up and running. The good thing is for now, this is up and running, and I've got a little truck service here dropping these little bits of construction materials. One's heading out that way, one's heading in that way, and they drop them off right in the middle of the industrial complex, which is great. The only problem I now have is that this is now redundant. So all that hard work I put into having a station built on this side of Keighley is now a complete and utter waste of time. But nevertheless, what can you do? I'm pretty sure I did send all of those. No, I didn't. Keighley Freight. There's 2 of you there, and I need to get rid of you. I need to sell those selected vehicles because they need to go bye-bye. And the Keighley Freight, I need to manage the line for that. Keighley Freight, you need to go kaputskis. Yes. Which means that, inevitably, I can now get rid of that. I'm not going to delete the station, because that's just dumb. But what I am going to do is I am going to configure it down. Not to kill it off, per se, but to at least make it look like it's just doing something. Just like that. Nothing major, so at least it still looks like there's some sort of a train station thing there. And that will run its course. But what I'm going to do today, now that I've got $2 million redos in the bank, and that little, I need to upgrade these because these are just old and slow and horrific. What I do need to do today is I want to try and start getting the construction materials out to Woburn, because as you've clearly seen in previous episodes, this little fiasco here that I've got with, 3 little trucks on the back of this little Duvawaki is not going to do any sort of job for me ever. I've come to the conclusion that you can't have a combined passenger and freight train in one. As much as I would like to believe that I could, I can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the old double trackings, and we're going to send a train track all the way out to... No. We're going to send a train track all the way out here. We're going to run double trains up and down this track. They don't need to be anything relatively fast, because it's just a one-stop. It's just a one-stop line, because there's nothing really else out here other than assorted fuel. Oils, crude, logs, and tools. So it's not something that I need to worry about terribly for now. And then what we'll do is we'll bring this little U-Butte. How you doing? We'll bring you into there like so. I've got the freight station happening there, so at least it can drop stuff off. We'll put some good old signalage along here, because we love a bit of signalage. Yep, you can go there. Just outside of the little forest that you got to go through there before you have to come into somewhat of another forest. Put you there, so you don't cover up the tracks too much. Then we'll come along here just before this nice little open field section that I've got here with a little bit of a I don't know what that is. Stone, I think it is. Should be stone. But anyway. So we're just going to shove these all along here like so. And then we're going to whack that one right there. And, yeah, we're going to go with that. What's your major malfunction? Okay, so you guys are apparently not very happy. I don't know what's wrong with you. Tram. Trams aren't happy. Replace selected vehicles with trams. Stands to reason. You know what? We're going to stick with those little tiny... these ones, because I think they are the bee's knees for the moment. We will make that happen. And now we will get rid of that. You should stop whinging now, with a bit of luck. Alright, now, we're going to fix up this vehicle. We're going to fix him. Edit him. We're going to get rid of these off the back of him. Are we going to update the engine? I mean, we could. And that would be kind of cool. At least that way, then I could say I've done something constructive. We don't have any diesels yet. We're not in diesel era. We got these Jenny Lins. I don't know what the Jenny Lins are or what they do. But we need something that goes a bit faster than 40 kilometers an hour, because we're long past the era now of having these sorts of trains. The Russian types. We got the small bloomer who does 56. You know what? I like him. We are going to shove him onto there. And we're going to get rid of all this nonsense. And then we are going to put on some nice little, just small little passenger cars. Nothing too over the top. Just do some nice little boom, 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 ba-boom. And he's got a capacity of 20. You're going to need a little bit more than that, I would think. So we're going to go a wabba-bam. And then we're going to go one more. No, we're going to stick with 5. I'm going to wait until my money gets up to about $1.506 million. Like that. And then we're going to replace that train. Like so. And it's done. So now that train will go a little bit faster than what it traditionally did. And it's also going to look a lot nicer. Oh, look at that. That's a sick, bicky little train if I've ever seen one. Let's watch him come through here, because that's always... We need a nice little shot. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Action shot. So there you go. That's the upgrade of the train for the day. We've done one. The train's slowly coming into the station. Here he comes. How does he look? Oh, that looks kind of cool, actually. Yeah, there you go. All these beautiful white new Butte bits and pieces. 113 people waiting for a bit of akshish. Oh, it's one of those I got the giant wheel in the middle trains. That's pretty cool. Although that's not very cool. He's only got 25 capacity. And that's not going to really help these 90-odd so-and-sos that are wanting to sort of get about. Oh, well. Never mind. And now we've also got these little old things. 32. Oh, yeah, see, it's not... it's just not happening at all. We've got to make some stuff happen. Oh, another thing I've done. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. Now we're on... Oh, hello. Taking my... Look at that. People get to ride on top of the bus. I put these in off camera as well, because I thought they were kind of cool. Yeah. Why not? Something different. Something very different. I figured, why not? Beautiful little... Oh, hello. The vehicle overhead shows important information such as the condition, age or yield of vehicles. Oh. Oh, there you go. So the worst offending vehicle is the road vehicles in Tenbury. I don't know why. They shouldn't be. I mean, they are 74 years old. No, no, they're not. They're only 6 years old. What are you on about? It's these road vehicles in Woburn, the Obesants, that are 20 years old, and they're still producing me coin. Why are you not producing me coin down there in Tenbury? That's David W. Town. The newly named, or the freshly renamed David W. Town. You all want to go to Tadley in the worst way, and only one of you wants to go to Keighley. Oh, hello. Tank trucks and tarpaulin trucks. That's alright. Now, you will notice that the industry building there. The problem that I've got at the moment with a good old David W. Town is that the mayor, David W. Hi, David. Is not wanting anything other than fuel and tools. Now, the problem with that is that I'm a long way away from being able to do anything with fuel. If we zoom out of the map for half a tick and follow my mouse cursor as such, you will notice that on this map, I mean, there's logs there, there's oil well there, there's not much. That's a machines factory. As you can see, that turns things into chemicals. That's for plastics. The only source of fuel that I have in this entire godforsaken area is up here. And that's not very good, because I don't have much in the ways of access to get over there. I mean, Bedale's going to be sorted out, because Bedale's got, you know, they want the fuel, and that's where the fuel is, and that's where the refinery is to make the oil. Yeah. Best thing I can do is just show this to you. So you harvest the crude oil, which then turns it into oil, and then you got to take the oil to that. So I've essentially got to do a three-way thing where I'm taking oil from one place, and I've even got to find an oil There's literally... Oh, there you go, down here. So I've got to get the oils I could run that to there. I could run a ship and maybe run it into there potentially, and then run some trucks through here to get them to do their bit, and then I could run it into Bedale. Bedale would get their fuel almost instantly, but then I have to find some sort of a new butte way of getting oil from, the fuel from here to anywhere else. And that's something that I'm going to have to really, really think about. And I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I haven't quite thought about it. I mean, Bedale, it's just a little town, but they're going to get a massive, massive surge later on when I start building stuff. The only thing I could think of doing maybe is some form of aeroplanage. I mean, they cost an absolute bomb. I don't have $4 million. I would have to continue connecting up more passenger lines in order to make that sort of thing happen. But, I mean... Oh, wait, that's a passenger airfield. That's a... Well, you can build cargo airfields in this game now. We need a hangar, and you only want the one terminal. And then essentially, yeah, you could just build an airport out here somewhere, or even inside of Bedale, or just outside of Bedale, where it's not going to charge me $7 million to make a bloody airport. Yeah, I could shove it... Essentially, I could just shove the thing out here, and then I could fly the remaining fuels to another airport, which would have to be somewhere, I would assume, right near David W. Town, because nobody else... Oh no, Dis wants some as well. Okay. So essentially, I could just fly it into Tadley. Fly it into Tadley, double track the Dis line, which I'm pretty sure I've already done. Have I done that already? Yes, I have. How's that little tank engine going? He's going great guns. So essentially, yeah, that's what I could do. I could fly it all into Tadley, make some sort of a... See, I'm going to have to work something out with this bloody station, because this station is just insanity. I mean, you know, it's got to... I'm going to have to pause, get a lot of money together, and then redo this entire station, because it's just absolutely bonkers. I mean, that holds no purpose at all. And then eventually, I sort of also want to get trains to come out and go... Well, I don't really want them to go anywhere else north. Well, I mean, they could go out to Bedale, but in saying that, if I'm going to do... and it's the only place out there, really. I mean, Wooler could have some sort of a... They could just have some sort of a bus network, really. Or tram network. I'm not going to build a train station that goes out to here and comes out and follows this thing and comes into Woburn, because that's just dumb. The only other thing I could do, maybe, is... No. Well, I mean, that's not silly. I could make a nice little ferry. The ferry could come in here and do its bit, and they could have that sort of a service. And then you got all this nonsense out here. Mablethorpe and Canterbury and Undul. And you got Marlborough down here, which is not currently doing anything. So I've still got about 6 places that I could connect up. And I mean, that would be fun. I mean, it's not going to be too hard to realise how I'm going to have to do this. I mean, I would just build just a plain train station sort of here. It'd go out to Canterbury. It'd come in. It'd go down here to Mablethorpe. Probably even scoot out here to Marlborough. And just be a multiple train station thing, with Undul being the main connection point between here and David W. Town, let's say, and David W. Town would then get a massive surge of people and potential freight. Canterbury would be able to benefit from the construction materials. Undul, Mablethorpe, and Marlborough all want food. So, I mean, there's potential there to organise some sort of a little food line in here, because I've got farm, farm, and then I've got food processing and food processing. But I mean, I would just easily just run this down to here, and then run it all into Undul, and let Undul distribute it all. And I think that would be a bit of fun. I could potentially just make a couple of stations and have one for freight and have one for passengers, and not intertwine the two, because I don't believe that it works. But nevertheless, now I want to have a real quick look at something here. Where's my little? Is that my new Butte train over here? Yeah, so you're still not taking anything out to Tadley, which is fine, because, you know, it gives this station time to... I mean, can I make more cargo spots? Cargo buildings, platforms, cargo platforms. Is that going to add to that? That's what I want to know. I don't believe it's going to. No, I don't think it is going to at all. Yeah, I don't think that adds to it. Nah, it doesn't. So the only way that that's going to work then... Well, let's configure that, and let's delete that little bit off the end, shall we? So you're telling me I can't build anything more along that line? I'm doomed forever. I mean, I could always just, you know... I could probably just chuck a second train on there, to be honest with you, and it's probably what I'll do. At some point. Because him only delivering 60 at a time is a little bit of a joke. But I figured it was great for a starting point. And considering he's still got 33 in stock, he's doing the production, so there's nothing wrong going on there. But yeah, my predominant. The thing I want to do first is I want to fix up these passenger trains, because they're just terrible. Now, I do want to... I want to replace the selected vehicles. And again, I want to do it in a way where I'm getting a good train that's going to do a bit of speed. I want some speed. I don't want this nonsense of 40 kilometers an hour anymore, because it's just driving me a little bit batty, if I'm being honest. 60... 96, the Newton class? I mean, that could work. It's got a little cab. It looks pretty good. It does some speed. And then we go into the passengers. And then, what do we want to do? Do we want to goofy about with all this nonsense? Or do we want to stick with something generic? Given that I can only go a certain speed, I don't believe that doing anything too pedantic is merited. I mean, you know, we could just whack this on there. We could go whabam, and then go a whabam. Then we'll chuck a couple of third classes on there, and then we're going to chuck a little rear brake van on there. And that's all New Butte. The only problem is it's going to cost me $7 million in order to do it. And unfortunately, even if I kick up the time frame a little bit, I don't think I'm going to get anywhere near $7 million. I mean, it'd be great, because, you know, my trains would start running a lot more effectively. Let's see if we can get up there. I mean, you know, it's all going to be a little bit how you're going, but I figured, why not? If we can do it. Nah, see, I can't even get above sort of $2.5 million in the bank. It just doesn't want to happen for me. And then we're going to get to the end of June. I'm going to get plundered. Oh no, not necessarily. Only down to 2.1. Problem is I'm leaving this running on fast mode for too long, and it's not ideally what I want to do. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Do I just chuck on one train and just get rid of both of them? There's an idea. Let's see what that does. Sell both vehicles. Okay, so I got absolutely no money for that at all. So that's always wonderful. Now I've got to get out of that, and now I've got to put a train on regardless, because I'm a goober. Now I've got to buy a train. Lol. I kind of, I think I might have kind of mucked that one up. Okay, so this happy yellow thing, or we could go, no. Yeah. But yeah. I don't know, I just feel like putting something cool on there. Passenger. We're going to go back with those little variant doovers, because they just seem the part. And then we'll whack a couple of these ones on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll whack a brake van on the back of it. I still need $4.6 million. Alright. I'm going to do it because I want this train really badly. You know what? Since I'm borrowing the money to do this anyway, let's just whack more stuff on this. Because this is going to look really, really cool. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 400 kilowatts, which is mediocre. Why is that mediocre? I don't want to hear this mediocre nonsense. Steam locomotive. So why are you all of a sudden gone mediocre on me? Okay. What if I put that one on instead? No, because you cost more. Why do you cost more? I don't want to do that. I mean, I could just go for one of these things. That'd be fun. The Midland Railway. Yeah, let's do that. Put that on there. Still going to be mediocre. Why? Why, I ask you, why? I do not like you and your... No, that's a goods train. I don't want a goods train. The GNR Atlantic? I mean, I could. And it wouldn't bother me none. The GNR. It all just seems a little bit weird to me. 112 kilometers an hour, 120 kilometers an hour, 90 kilometers an hour. If I'm going to whack any of these sort of American stuff on there, I mean, that's a heavy freight train. That's a massive. Look at that. 180 kilowatts. Woo! But even then, that's a goods train too. I don't want a goods train. I want a 72 k's an hour. The Atlantic were the mainstay of East Coast passenger traffic for the turn of the century in the 1930s. Yeah, I know that. Well, I mean, I say I know that, but I don't really know if I know that. 10-wheeler. It's only 338 kilowatts. That's 400 kilowatts. I just think that's going to look a lot better. Borrow. Can I do it now? Can I do it? No, of course I can't. But I've got an 80 capacity, and that's monstrous for this sort of a train. Although something that would do... Hang on, what do those passenger cars do? What are they speed-wise? Because, I mean, I could whack something on there. Am I using the 6-wheel variant, or am I using the generic British variant? They do 96. They do 84. I don't know which ones I'm doing. They got a capacity of 7. They got a capacity of 8. And I've got 10 carriages. So it's obviously these ones. So 96 kilometers an hour. which is not the worst thing in the world. 96k, 96k. I need something that can do 96 kilometers an hour. See, that thing does 96 kilometers an hour. And I still think that's going to be the best thing for me. Buy for 6 million. See, that's just massively rude. I don't want to borrow any more money from the bank manager. And I'd like for this train just to run the way I intended it to. Right, add you on there. You're still 5.9999999. But you only do 80 kilometers an hour. I need you because you do the 96 that I want you to do. Alright, fine. Whack that on there. I don't care anymore. I'm going to have to borrow one more from the bank manager. And now I can put this train. Boom. I now have this train. Boom. Main line. Make it happen. We're going to see that happen. And that's going to be the end of the episode today. Alright. 3, 2, 1. And boom. This is going to look glorious. Come on. Out you come. Oh. That actually looks really, really cool. If anything, it probably looks a little bit too long to be a passenger train. But anyway. And he's off. There he goes. He's off doing his bit. There you go. It's all happening. There you go. That looks really good. Is he picking up speed? Yeah, he's picking up speed. He's already going fast on those other blighters. There you go. That is now my mainline train for now, until I can make enough money to repay the bank manager, which I have a feeling is going to be pretty much the telltale of this entire series, is I'm going to have to borrow from the bank manager in order to repay the bank manager to re-borrow again. It's just going to be loan after loan after loan after loan. So, what we're going to do is we're going to quickly duck in here to the train station, and we're going to watch this train come in. And I'm going to call the episode off on that note. So guys, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I know I've done a little bit off camera again, but I've also done some stuff on camera for you today to enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed it. I did not get around to doing the Woburn freight train, simply because I really wanted the mainline train to change. So we'll try and do that in the next episode if we can. It's going to be a while because I'm going to need to get some money together to be able to do that. So guys, thank you again for watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment your suggestions, comment your thoughts on what I'm doing with this particular series. If there's anything you want me to do, let me know. You want something named after you, let me know. But other than that, guys, like and follow me on Facebook, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I will see you for the next installment of Transport Fever 2. Take care, everyone.